So one of the questions almost everyone asks is, they say, Steve, what's homeowners insurance going to cost me? Now, if you're buying a house anywhere on the Treasure Coast, you better be asking that question. Now, here's the beginnings of that answer. Know that if you buy a house on a canal, in a FEMA flood zone, or on the coast, anywhere near a surge zone or a river or an inlet or a bay, expect to pay $6,000, $8,000, or $10,000 for a $500,000 or so home. That's kind of the realities of the situation there. Now also, the type of construction affects the premium. For example, expect to pay a lot less for homeowners insurance with a new roof or a roof at least under 5 years old, concrete block construction, extra roof tie downs, impact resistant windows and doors. Houses with these features usually pay premiums of about $1,600 to $2,500 a year for a $500,000 home, depending on the extent of your coverage. Now you can actually take a look at my bill here and see I pay roughly $1,600 a year. Now many clients choose to also get separate flood insurance, which covers water rising up into the house on top of the regular insurance. Now flood insurance usually runs $500 to $750 depending on the carrier. But where are premiums headed in Florida? I mean, are the costs going up, down? What's the state of the insurance market in Florida in 2025, 2026? Well, that's what we'll take a look at today. So hold on a minute. Hey, I'm Stephen Kimos, a realtor specializing in new construction here in beautiful 90-degree Port St. Lucie, Florida. Well, a consumer advocacy group tied to the Florida Chamber says property insurance reforms have stabilized the market, and that, some thought the market not long ago was on the absolute brink of collapse. Now, this group, the Consumer Protection Coalition, said in a statement, legislative reforms that were approved about 2 years ago are leading to a steadying and declining premiums, as well as a drop in the number of policies held by the government-backed Citizens Property Corporation. The reforms, which the state's Office of Insurance Regulation, or OIR, has been touting as well, include limiting how much attorneys can collect to cut down on the lawsuits and working to expand the number of companies doing business in the state of Florida in order to increase market competition, which should in turn lower the rates. Now, despite the upbeat report, Florida's homeowners insurance rates are still higher than the national average. According to a recent report from Florida All Risk Insurance Group in St. Petersburg, they say the average annual premium is about $2,625, which is 24% higher than the national average. Well, I say, well, of course. Floridians, we have to pay our fair share. The premiums are higher, and they should be, as we're prone to tropical storms and hurricanes, but experts argue the proclivity of the bad weather should only raise rates 7 to 10%, not the 24%. The reason they believe that the premium is so high is because of litigation and other dishonest practices, and they're probably right. The Consumer Protection Coalition touts the number of new companies entering the state as one of the main contributors to the improving marketplace. Now, according to the statement, and the data from OIR, 14 new carriers have been approved to write residential homeowners insurance in Florida, and that's a good thing. OIR said the office has seen over 120 residential filings and requests to decrease or to have zero increases in rates in 2025. In other words, insurers are dropping rates here in Florida. That's a fact. And that is a huge change from December 2021. When Citizens reported that rate hikes were necessary because the 52 private companies that were writing 79% of the property insurance policies in the state lost $847 million through the third quarter of 2021. And it was largely blamed on the number of lawsuits against insurance companies. The consumer group, insurance agents, and government officials at the time regularly pointed to the fact that, now this is crazy, Florida accounted for 8% of the policies nationwide in 2019, while accounting for 76% of all litigation. Now that's a huge red flag. That's something that says something's definitely wrong here. According to the Florida Association of Insurance Agents, between 2013 and 2020, insurance carriers paid in Florida, paid $15 billion in claims costs. Now of that, only 8% was paid to consumers. Attorneys got 71%. Now, some plaintiffs' attorneys have long questioned that data, and they argue that, hey, they're just simply trying to collect the claims that are legitimately owed. And in some cases, of course, that's true. But again, 8% of policies in the nation, but 78% of all litigation costs. So since the Consumer Protection Coalition says litigation in Florida has dropped by 30% since these reforms have passed. Now, as for how this is all affecting Citizens, which was created as the insurer of last resort in Florida, it had 592 policies in force in June. That's down 36% from the previous year. Now that, the coalition says, is 44.9% lower than the number of policies that they had in October of 2023. It's a 41% drop. And the coalition also says the drop in number of policies also helps Citizens Bank reduce its risk exposure, which was like $520.1 billion last year, down to $295 billion this year, which is another 43% reduction. That's a good thing. Now, Mark Wilson, who's the president and CEO of the Florida Chamber, says in the coalition statement that by cutting red tape, tamping down litigation, state leaders made an immeasurable impact on the benefits to all Floridians. Now, the Chamber says the Consumer Protection Coalition is made up of, business people, consumer advocates, real estate agents, construction contractors, insurance agents, and insurance trade groups that all work together, and they try to create policies that control costs. So, however you want to look at this, homeowners insurance market in Florida is trending in the right direction. Despite that, it still has a long way to go. I mean, a down year or two of tropical storms and hurricanes will really help with that. And by the way, I work with some pretty good insurance brokers that'll scour the market for you and do the research if you don't want to do the research yourself. And keep in mind, I recommend these people because past clients have had a good experience with them, not because I get a kickback, because, well, that's illegal in Florida. Now, as always, if you have any questions or you want to talk about anything real estate related, contact me. My information's right here on the screen and in the description below. And remember to like and subscribe to help this information to get out to as many people as possible. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.